Hello everybody and welcome to yet another flight leg honor tour of the European Union. As always, I'm the cloud surfer Henrik, and welcome to today's flight, which will be a long flight. We are going from wonderful Greece, where we're parked here in the airport in Corfu, where we arrived last night after our night flight from Malta. As you can see, the weather is nice and sunny as always here on wonderful Corfu, and the scenery that we have is quite special. It's the FlyJSim scenery for Corfu, and it is awesome looking. As always, we are in virtual reality using the Oculus Rift S and X-Plane 11, and our wonderful aircraft, the Boeing 737-800, is parked over here, and we are flying the Saga Viking Scandinavian Airlines livery for the duration of our project. As always, our call signs will also be Scandinavian 511. As you can see, we are parked in front of the main terminal in Corfu, and we are online on that sim. We currently have no ATC going on, but we do have some aircraft here. Just before I started the video, we had an EastJet taking off, so he is gone now. I really can't see him, so yeah. Today's flight is going to be quite long. It's one of the longest flight legs, about 2 hours time, so I do hope that you have snacked up on some beverages and some popcorn, because I'm not sure I can entertain you for 2 hours, but I will give it a try. So it is in real-time Tuesday afternoon, and we do use Active Sky Live Weather as well as a lot of other plugins, which you can find in the description below in the video. So as I mentioned, this scenery is awesome. It's the FlyJSim Corfu scenery. It is a bit pricey, but it is definitely worth all the money because it is awesome looking. Really good textures and everything. So there's a guy leaving. So that will be the last one. So we don't have any ATC online as of yet, and I am a bit unsure if we will get ATC online later on or not. There's quite sketchy coverage down here in Greece and in Cyprus, which is the country of destination today. Cyprus will mark the end of our southern tour of the European Union, and after Cyprus we will head north and will be northbound for the mid and eastern part of the EU. So yeah, this will be a bye-bye for the Mediterranean. I think the last time we'll see the Mediterranean is when we go to Croatia, but today we will be traversing all of Greece. So yes, I did arrive here in Corfu on the very outskirts of Greece itself last night, but I do promise you that we will get a good look at Greece today, as we will be traversing the entire length of Greece. I think we'll be going over Athens and all of the islands and everything, so it should be quite nice. The weather also looks quite good, not much going on, so yeah. As always, also I fly with failures enabled, and also have it checked off remove surfaces when overspeeding or putting the aircraft or airframe under too much stress and g-forces. So we do need to fly realistically and be careful for throughout this flight. Yeah, so I'm not sure today if I'll be able to do a 2-leg. That would be quite a long day, but we'll see. I expect this entire video to be around 3 hours, but I guess that you already have the answer since you're watching this. But as of now, I have no idea. I expect us to be in the air for around 2 hours, half an hour setup, and what plus minus some extras. So around 3 hours time, I expect it to be. So quite a long video, but I hope you will enjoy nonetheless. So that's pretty much all the chit-chatting, and I think we just might as well get in the cockpit. It's very noisy here, so let's get into the cockpit and start setting her up. So let's shut the door. So it is quite warm here. That is also why we have the ASU on to try and cool her down. Almost 30 something degrees in here, so it's quite warm in the cockpit today. We do need to make it comfortable for our passengers. So let's start setting up our flight, but first of all let's get some power going. We do have ground power available. There we go. Start aligning. And just usual flipping of the switches here. And there we go. So we'll just have a quick look here. Yep, that looks fine to me. Okay, so let's just start with all the boring testing and stuff. So let's dim, right, off. There we go. And the reason I'm doing this is both to do it as correct as possible, but the real reason, as in the real flights, is you don't really want any surprises. Working. We can actually have some systems malfunctioning so already while on the ground, so it's nice to know before we get airborne, so we don't have to scrap the entire flight after setting it up. These don't work in the SIBO mod. They work after a while, but never in the start for some odd reason. There's the barrow. Good for now. Reset that. And we can test the lights. Looking good. Yep. And still up, down, and let's just let's do a fire test. Yep. And a noisy TCAS test as always.
Adjust vertical speed. Adjust. Climb. Climb now. Climb. Climb now.
The temperature has already dropped considerably.
Crossing.
That's
Climb.
good.
Climb.
Actually a bit too fast even.
Clear of conflict. Descend. Descend.
So we will, while he's chatting away, we will get the flight plan.
Descend. Descend now. Descend. Descend.
And we will be at 55.9.
Increase climb. Increase descent.
9.4.
Increase descent. Maintain vertical speed. Maintain. Maintain vertical speed. Crossing. Maintain. Monitor vertical speed. TCAS test. Pass.
Oops. $55.9. And fuel will need at least 9 tons. So the next flight leg after Cyprus, haven't really reviewed it that much. Initially I had planned to go to Varna in Bulgaria, but I couldn't really find any scenery that I really liked for Varna. It is on sunny beach at the Black Sea, and Bulgaria really wanted to go there. We could go there using X-Plane, a generic scenery, but it really isn't that good. So I did find some scenery for Sofia, the capital in Bulgaria, so I have decided to take us there instead. So what we could do is try, in case that I'm able to do another sector today, is try to load up even more fuel, but I'm not quite sure how much we would need to Sofia. It is hour, 15 minutes, hour and a half, I reckon. A flight will be crossing Turkey, so believe 6-7 tons. I don't want to be too. So actually, we will plan for a refueling stop in Cyprus if we choose to move on. I think. Could do maybe 12 tons. I don't know. Or even. I think we'll be using about 4 tons, 5 tons on this trip. So let's just get the flight plan up and see. Expects, if everything is going well, about 5 tons of fuel for the flight. That would leave us with 9 tons. So let's go like so, and that's actually looking quite fine. So let's keep that. And TCAS test was fine. So let's start the setup. Let's just jump straight into it here. So we are at Corfu in Greece. Popular holiday destination Corfu is. Oh, and also because it's a very beautiful place. So can't really argue with that. Sorry. Go and nope. Lima Charlie, Lima Kilo. And we are, of course, Scandinavian 511. There we go. And routes. We're departing from runway. Yeah, so basically we have been seeing traffic taking off from runway 16 over the ocean. And we could do that. There are would be with a slight tailwind, but actually, as of now, real world traffic is using the runway 34. So we're going to do that as well. So we'll have to traverse the length of the runway and turn around and then take off. So we will do that, even though the other traffic here on Watson seems to go at 16, so we will go 34 Martlet 1 Foxtrot. There we go. And from Martlet to onto Alpha 14. And Alpha 14 to Mill. Mike 601. Bonek. And Bonek 1 Romeo. There we go. And I have decided did have a look at some charts here just to see what we want to do today, and I have decided on I believe it's the Zulu approach. Let's just see. Go best quality as always, like so, and move to VR. There we go. Bit big, but like so. Just the recording. So we don't need that. We need this one here. This one here. So VR wireless X-ray actually. So we'll look at the runway 22. And as you can see, we will arrive. Let's just get the routing up here. So the Boner 1 Romeo, I'll show later on the charts, but that will basically takes us straight to the VOR at Larnaca, straight over the airport, left-hand turn onto the ILS approach, and then land. So straightforward, nothing much to worry about. The most important thing here is that in the center of the island we do have some high terrain going up to I think about 6,000 or even 7,000 feet, so we'll be crossing over that, so we do need to be wary of our height. We need to be at 4,000 feet above the airport, and then we descend down to 1,500 in the turn, and then on to the final approach. So yeah, we can activate that. Straight onto the performance. We'll be cruising at flight level 370. Just put that in here straight away. And reserves will be 3.6. Yeah. And our alternate is Antalya in Turkey. But the way the weather is looking now, should be no issues at all. The ISA and winds are 26722. Oh. And +5. $31, how about that? Very lovely day here. That's where you should be. So we'll do full 26k. We are quite heavy and we do have a short runway to work with, and it's hot weather, so we will be given full thrust basically. Flaps 5. So look at those, the rotation speed 142, so we're really going to use most of the runway. It's 142, we can, sorry, 151, put that in here. The trim 5.4 units D-steps, and now we get the reversers going up. Really need to take a deep dive into my yoke settings and find out about the settings so we don't have that going on. The funny thing is, it only does it the very first time that I've touched the yoke. Other than that, it doesn't. Look, nothing else happens, just the first time. It's odd. I think that'll do us fine. 5.4 units D-step. We can just put in, so for now this will change. Okay, so there we go. Let's have a look at the route. It looks funky. Yeah, so it basically wants us to go up. Just need to have a good long view look at this. All the way around the airport basically. Yeah, I just need to make sure because that looks really funky. Yes, so straight ahead, sorry. And then doesn't look that funky because I had the runway 16 in my head going this way. But now it looks so it's a left-hand turn. Big left circle and then straight over the airport. And down across Greece. There's the Larnaca VR 4000. Straight out and then the turn back to the runway. So the only thing we'll have to monitor is the turning arch. We might need to do some fiddling after we reach Larnaca VR to get a nice clean turn onto the runway approach, but we'll have to match that up with our charts and we should be just fine. So That's that set. Can pop this back, looks good for us. So let's get some charts out. What we can actually do is start the flight leg and Romeo 1 feet, so our MFR rate is basically 1001. Oops, wrong button. There we go. VR mouse. Only thing I need it for is this, because this particular knob is quite sensitive and can be quite a pain to set up with the VR controller. It was working fine before, then see what changed it, and haven't really changed it back to the way it was, so I don't think they're going to give much way to VR users, unfortunately, but that's just how it is. We can live with it. So let's get the QNH.
Lima, Golf, Kilo, Romeo, airport information, Foxtrot 1220, Zulu, weather, wind 215 at 10, visibility 10,000, sky condition, few clouds at 2000, temperature 31, dew point 19er, QNH 1012, advise on initial contact, you have information, Foxtrot
1012, not much of a change from yesterday. It was when we arrived there last night, it was 1013, so it's all set. Let's get the airport out. So we don't need any pushback here. We do have a bus standing in the way, but we'll just pretend it's not there. I don't know why we have that big bus parked in the middle of the taxiway, though. But luckily it's just a ghost, we can drive right to it. But I'm going to make a sharp right hand turn. And we'll basically turn around, go on the Alpha taxiway, I think it's called Alpha at least, all the way, no, sorry, we'll go right and then on to Alpha 3, all the way to the end of the runway, turn around and take off from runway 34. And that's runway heading. And birds in vicinity of airport. And let's get the departure as well. And it's the Malibu Foxtrot. There we go. That's our departure. So climb straight ahead to distance 2. That's Golf Alpha Romeo tune. Turn left, track 249er. It's a 249er. And there we go. Oh, there we go. We'll do that at distance 2 of Gar. Turn left, 249er, track. Yeah. For 9er, and that will track 294. There we go. That's all set up. And mullet must be at 3000. Sorry, I lost mullet 1 kilo. Yeah, so we'll basically pass straight over the airport at heading 318. So we'll keep this departure chart open so we have something to look at. So yeah, that's pretty much it. We don't have any initial clearance. Transition altitude is 5. No initial flight clearance, but we do not have any ATC, so we'll just put in something like this. Gives us a bit of room since we are quite overworked. And let's just get this all set. I need you there. Set. A bit further out, like so. Pop this on. There we go. And we can get you started. There we go. Window heat on. Whoop. It's all looking fine. You have Unicom tuned. And sponsors there, so we'll need to basically pop most of it on once we track down the runway. So let's just get the fantastic map out and see if we have any issues around here. No, we're all by ourselves, so should be just fine. So basically we'll be crossing all of Greece, all of the Greek islands, and on to Larnaca here. No ATC thus far. That's all good looking. Okay. Yeah. So we got the flight started. Yep. I can pop that up. We don't really need any pushback today. So there's the APU. Go. And let's have the ground guys clear out. Close the doors. Yeah. Once the ground guys is cleared, we will ready to start the engines. We can do the pre-flight oxygen. Yeah, we didn't test it, but we can test it. Escape rope, bulbs, and landing gear. Looking good. Window heat is on, and nav and transfer switches were auto and normal. Pressurization mode selector is auto. Heading and altimeter is 164, 164, and 064. Checked and correct. Parking brake is set into start limits cut off. Flight deck doors are closed and locked. Fuel, we have 3 pumps on and 12.9 tons on board. Passenger size on, windows are locked. MCP, we have 151, 134 and 8000 set. V1 rotation, and V2 we have 140, 142, 151. Quite heavy here, so we do need a lot of push to get us up there, and on this short runway as well. CDU pre-flight is completed. Rudder and aileron trim is free and 0. Takeoff and taxi briefing is completed, and anti-collision lights can now come on. So let's do the before taxi checklist after we have started her up, yeah. So we will be starting engine 2 and 1 in sequence, starting number 2. And I'll be checking my butt kicker. Always do think I have fixed the issue that I have yesterday night when the butt kicker wasn't working. So it's on. Fuel. So I think I have set the butt kicker, might adjust later on, so starting number 1. Just making sure nothing is... And get some fuel in. And there's the starter cutout. So gone with the U, set U, probe heat, and let's do the systems check here. Full forward, full back, full right, left, and right and left. Yeah, looking good. And RTO, blank this, record checked, and let's set flaps 5. So let's do the taxi checklist here. Generators on, probe heat is on, anti-ice off, isolation valve is auto. Engine start switches are continuous. Recall is checked. Auto brake is RTO. Engine start levers idle detent. Flight controls are checked and ground equipment is clear. For taxi checklist is completed, and let's just pop these on. Let's pop it all the way up to TRRA. Taxi lights, yeah, you can pop this on as well so we're quite visible. And we'll just use this number 1 engine just to make sure that we're at least going to try not to take a chunk out of that bus. I think that should do us nicely. Can't see any other traffic still here, so we are alone. And yeah, so that's strange, right? So the bus, either he was waiting for the spot, I don't know, it is moving. So I do think some of the things here are moving, but what triggers them I'm not quite sure of. I was parked correctly there, so yeah, odd stuff. So I have noticed that the butt kicker is quite dominant in sound on the recording. I hope it's not too annoying for you, but really it's
approaching 17.
Really it's great to have it on, so if you can bear with it, we'll try to keep it down while we are in flight, so the engine isn't too predominant, but for the ground handling it's just awesome to have that feeling of the bumps and what have you not do. So
On runway
okay, so
17.
Transponder TRRA and P-step 5.4 units and flaps 5 green lights. So that's the takeoff checklist. And lights are on there. Cabin is secure. So I'll try just to turn the butt kicker just a little bit down. So this is where we arrived last night. Just came in a bit skewed at the 340 and then corrected just at the end to land here. This is, yeah, not narrow, but a narrow-ish runway, quite short. It seems even shorter once you're in flight and you see it, so really had to just bang the aircraft down nice and early, get in as low as we dare and get her down so we have as much runway as possible to rake on. But it's a nice place to fly into and nice approach, something different. So really can recommend it if you haven't gone here yet. So soon enough we'll be arriving at the turnaround point. And it was a 2, distance 2 we were supposed to. Oops. Yeah, left a 2. There's the Grand Hotels. I think it's not the most popular hotel, this one, right next to the airport. Unless you're an aviation fan and you'll love it there. Okay. So let's just
100 remaining.
Nice wide turn here. No guiding taxi lines. Bank straight over. Hopefully that should give us a nice lineup. At we're looking at 345. Bit twitchy image here, but
On runway 35.
so yeah, that should do us nicely. Okay, so start the timer and set the thrust to 40%. Need to have it nice and lively here, so that's looking good. Okay, and set takeoff thrust. Let's go. Bye bye Greece and bye bye Corfu. We will be seeing a lot more of Greece during this flight, so but, we will not land there. Do have a bit of a wind here, actually.
80 knots.
Checked.
E1.
Rotate.
Positive rate.
And gear up. And there was the wind just grabbing us for a second there. Quite a lot of wind actually, I didn't expect that much. But we are stable now. Yeah, 10 knots actually. Quite more than what the Meta said.
1,000.
1,000 feet. There's 2, so we can start turning now to 245 and buck up. Flaps 1. So this departure is meant to take us away from this terrain here. Flaps up. It's a cloud, TAT is nice, so 32. So let's do the after takeoff checklist. Engine bleeds on, packs auto. Landing gear up and off, flaps up, no lights. After the takeoff checklist completed. So LNAV, nav. There's the next turn. really a lot of work involved with this departure. We are the flight directors now, trying to get it trimmed as good as we can. All of this is the FO job. So after the turn here, I will engage Command A and we will have a good view at the Corfu from above, I think. But for now we'll keep everyone seated and here's Corfu. Pressurizing nicely. We are a little bit fast here, but it's nothing serious. Just trying to keep up with the trim here. Can't really see the airport yet, but we're passing over it. Just keep this turn here, that's good enough. Where's the cabin crew? So we can let the aircraft take it from here, hopefully. Yeah, just needed to update, otherwise LNAV would be going bonkers. So should have the airport straight below us actually, so we won't be able to see much. It's just behind that cloud there. So there's the approach we came in last night and had this direction here and then corrected just at the very end. So there's the runway. Yeah, we can see the airport. It's well below us already. So yeah. Let's get a first officer's view of Corfu. Beautiful scenery from Flight Sim. So really wanted to be sitting here for a week or two, but that will be for some other time. So here we are. And actually, let's get some lights going. It's a bit dark here. So There we are. A little bit of delay on it. We're still in the turn on this one. Beautiful terrain here. There's mainland Greece. We can shut this off, and this one, and this one. Let's get a map. We're not in a hurry today. We have plenty of time to do all the things we have planned for the flight. So. To clean up all of this. So 37 set, 37, and we are 138. So yeah, if you're having issues with LNAV acting up, especially while you're in your departure phase, where you are going from manual flight, from flying the departure to engaging the autopilot, then as you saw now, there's a lot of stuff going on, especially if you have a departure that requires a bit of maneuvering, like now. And what can easily happen is that you'll maneuver a bit past some of the waypoints, and it will not disengage that waypoint and engage the new one. It will keep that waypoint. So what happens is, if you don't update the FMC, it will once you engage the autopilot, LNAV will turn the aircraft back towards the old waypoint, and can leave you a bit confused, and your passengers will be flying all over the cabin. So it's not really optimal. So flight level is 20,000. We can release the passengers already. No need to keep them seated. And just have a look here. Yeah, looking good. But as you saw, we almost used up all of the runway, so wasn't much room to spare there. I actually even believe that our V1 speed were a bit high there, because I'm not quite unsure if we would have been able to stop in time, to be honest. So, but it is what it is, eh? Yeah. So we're looking good. Put back the seat, kick up the feet, take a nap. Yeah, so we're on our way, and there's mainland Greece, which we didn't see much of last night due to darkness, but here it is, and we will most likely be seeing Athens. Let's see if we can get our charts going here. I do have a map that shows the routes. So. A little bit of wind there, seems like it. All the way at the end, of course. There we go. It's basically all across Greece, close to Athens, over the Greek islands, and then to Cyprus. Let's do a PA. Kilo. Actually, that was one L too much. Nah, that's all wrong. L, Lima Charlie, Lima Kilo, Lima Kilo. There we go. So 6 feet. So we'll keep it at as is for landing altitude. And look at those mountains in there. Also, I'd like to just get some weather. So we do have some traffic here. How high is he? He is at 23. So he's going to Corfu. Yeah. So he will way below us. Let's have a look at the weather here. Update this. Yeah, so we do have weather in somewhere inland. I can't really see it now, but I think it might be behind those mountain ranges there somewhere. The moon is out. And so basically we will
Traffic.
Yeah, so there's that guy.
Traffic.
That's really annoying that TCAS is giving us this traffic warning as soon as somebody pops in. He is way below us down there somewhere. So he'll be crossing over this area here. So this could hold some weather for us, but we should be at cruise and be out of the way of the weather. So we'll see if it comes up on our weather radar or not. But we should be fine. If not, we'll go take a bit northerly route over here, over Athens, like so. But for now we'll stick to, actually we'll take a southerly route. I think that'll make more sense with the routing that we have. So south here. We will evaluate if it comes up here. But basically that is the only weather we will have to contend with on this flight, and looks really nice on Cyprus. So yeah, Italy not so much. But that's none of our concerns anymore. We're done with Italy. So there's a tile change. So let's start with the maps, and then we can do, as always, we'll do our setup first, and then we will do our geography lessons afterwards. So run Romeo, Bonek 1 Romeo, here we go. It's basically straight in, right, from Bonek onto Larnaca, and we're going north of this terrain here. Yes, 6,700 feet, and we're coming in at 11, passing it there, so we should be clearing it as well, or in altitude once we are onto that terrain. So we can tune Larnaca at 112.8. So that's not Larnaca, but we'll keep monitoring it. So basically straight into Larnaca VOR. X-ray for. So here we go, Larnaca VOR, then we'll go out on the X-ray for Cat C. And minimum for Cat C is 209, so just get the VR mouse and just get that set. So easy to forget, right? There we go. Get the mouse back into the cockpit. 209. Set. Store the VR mouse. Okay. The ILS is 1103. tuned. And the heading for the final approach is 221. Really need to remember to keep up to date, right? With this here, it's so easy to just forget it while doing everything else. So we'll be doing a slight turn shortly at Sotek, closing on our cruise. And sorry, I have to sneeze, guys, so ah, sorry about that. Okay.
1,000 to go.
Back to 3-4. Okay, so we'll just see if we can find Larnaca here. This is 105. So from Larnaca it's 4. So what the one will fly is the Cat C, so it's 62. There we go. 62 out to a distance of 8 Larnaca, then we'll turn onto runway heading 221 and take it from there. Yep, so that's set and minimals are set. And the speeds look good enough for me. So at Larnaca the maximum speed would be actually we can pop it down just a wee bit. There we go. Let's just get some situational awareness, something to help us. So I'll put in an 8 mile and a 5 mile ring. This one here, 10 mile. And let's just review this. Now we are at our cruise. Just making sure that everything is looking as we would like it to look. And it does. Engines are performing well. Bit of clouds down below, but nothing up here, so it's looking good. So let's just do a plan look. Just 10 mile. So that 8 mile ring really isn't what I was looking for. So it basically wants us to turn a bit sooner. Let's just do this again. So that's Larnaca, LCA. So we have 2 LCA actually. And we want it to be this here Larnaca. What we'll do is put it in here instead. It will do us just nicely. So back to the next page. There's the 8 mile ring. We will perform the turn. And yeah. So this should be fine for us for now. So we come in here, perform the turn, started at 8, should to find around 10, and then into lander we'll start configuring nice and early as well. So we'll be slowing down from Larnaca and yeah. So I'm happy with this and I hope you are as well, and we'll keep this opening in. Remember the 062 heading, and we'll do a heading select and keep things nice and under control, and we'll have a nice approach. It'll be fun, a bit like what we did in Naples, but instead here we don't have these mountains that we are maneuvering in. So of course the missed approach is out over the water, so left turn, climbing to just 2000, go back out, and we'll just vector ourselves back in. Yeah, so let's get the airport map. Here we go, that's the airport. Just getting this out in case we should get ATC, so we have both the aprons in case. I do believe that they want us to apron 1 to the terminal here. And it doesn't look like we have any gate guidances here, so we'll just find ourselves a nice spot to park. It's basically landing, getting to apron 1. A nice long runway as well, so we can do fine with auto brake 2. Yeah, so that's pretty much the approach, all ready to go. We only need to wait for 490 nautical miles. So that's in about 1 hour we will start our descent. So 1 hour in cruise from now. So that's interesting. Let me see how I can keep you guys entertained. First of all, I will need to get a drink. Yeah, I didn't forget to put my water bottle in beside my seat today, so perfect temperature in the cabin as well. Everything is looking nice. Okay. So yeah, I do have a few things here I could show you. Make it a bit larger for us. Then we have the fantastic map. So yeah, we are already basically we should be in that weather, and I'll show you that some of the weather we have below us here. So we're well above all the weather, so that's nice. But we do get a glimpse of Greece here and there. So let's look at, did I forget to start the flight? Yeah, I did start the flight, so cruising along nicely. But I forgot to open the pictures. I wanted to show you some pictures, but I forgot to open them up, I see. That's a shame. Let's get the weather for Larnaca. $14 knots. Mostly if straight down the runway. So do have a few clouds at 3000. QNH 1007. Let's just set that and then we'll correct it once we get H's in. Yeah, so it's a shame that I forgot to open those pictures. I really want to share with you our progress and chat with you about our next phase in our tour. But basically what I was thinking is that the next countries that are close by are of course Bulgaria, Romania and Croatia, this horseshoe shape here. Then of course Hungary and Slovenia. So what I wanted to start with was actually Bulgaria, it being the closest one. So we'll cross Turkey here. Basically the flight will take us along the Turkish coast. Then I was thinking about Varna being at the Black Sea, the very edges of the European Union. Still haven't actually made up my mind. So, but then that would mean that we will be flying into standard X-plane airport with all its charm, because I couldn't find, there was some Varna scenery, but and there was even payware scenery, but it looks really dated. Not good looking at all, so I wouldn't even pay $1 for that even. I think actually the X-plane scenery would be better. We are in the turn. Yeah. So what I was thinking, because I did find scenery for Sofia, which I believe is the capital in Bulgaria. So that would take us along the Turkish coast here, like so. So we wouldn't be actually getting to the Black Sea, but maybe we'll just have to do without that, right? And then from Sofia we could be going to something like Bucharest in Romania. That would be a very short flight. Or we could go to Split in Croatia, and that would give us a nice 1 hour flight, which we like. And then from Split we could go back east to Bucharest, again 1 hour flight. And from Bucharest we could go to either Budapest or to Ljubljana in Slovenia. I think Budapest would be the closest. Budapest and Ljubljana, and we have in Hungary we could go quite sure about these names here. Bratislava. That can't be right. Yeah, maybe I'm right. Maybe it is Bratislava. So from Ljubljana, it's a bit short for Innsbruck, right? So for Ljubljana we could go to Budapest. Let's see here. I really need those drawings. I really had it all figured out early on. So let's just enjoy the terrain here. The Aegean Sea and beautiful Greece. Let's get the map up and get some situational awareness. Been flying for half an hour now. Left from Corfu here. Heading out into the island sea of Greece. So straight ahead of us. Let's see if fantastic map can give us. Doesn't really have the borders or anything. Nope. Not much traffic going on here. So all we have to work with is this here maps of Budapest. And Ljubljana. And Bratislava in Slovenia, maybe. And from Bratislava we could go to Innsbruck. And from Innsbruck to Prague. And then almost to Poland and upwards. So Sofia, what did I say? Sofia, then Split, then Bucharest, and then Budapest, Ljubljana, Bratislava, Innsbruck, so a bit of ping pong, Prague, yeah. So Sofia to Split will do. Might do Bucharest, we'll just have to look at the flight time. If we can squeeze in about an hour, 45 minutes, that will probably, if the approaches isn't too hard, too much work pressure, then we could do, that would make sense to stay in the same corridor before heading west. So we'll just have a look at that later on. Yeah, so quite a long flight to go. Here are some of the Greek islands coming into view. .7 tons in the center tank. Minus 40 on the fuel. So I might actually jump out of VR. We do have the time just to open these maps up for you. Oh, it worked perfectly. So here we go. So here's my awesome paint edited map of the European Union. And it makes perfect sense, right? The red ones are the ones we have visited. So we have been to Germany, the Netherlands, all of the United Kingdom. We went to Scotland and Wales and Northern Ireland and England, Ireland and Luxembourg, then France, then we went to Portugal, then Spain and Italy, Malta and Greece. So now the next one up is Cyprus, which will be the most southern we'll get on this voyage. Just about. Malta was also very close race between Malta and Cyprus, but Cyprus will run off with the most southerly point of this here journey, all nestled all the way in there between Middle East and Turkey. So Cyprus, Bulgaria, Romania, Croatia, Hungary, Slovenia, Slovakia, Austria, Czech Republic, Poland, and so on up and this way around, right? So we do have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 countries to go. So I reckon that we're not even halfway there. Let's have a count. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm not sure what we should do with the UK. Should we count them individual? Because they do consist of England, Scotland, Wales and Northern Ireland, so it's 4. So we can do it as, yeah, well, let's do 1, 2, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So if we count them as ints, then we have done 13, right? And that's 17, so we're not even halfway there, but we do have all of these small jumps. We did start out with a lot of long legs, so a long trek, rather long trek to Nice from Luxembourg. Then a very long one from Nice to Lisbon, and to Alicante from Portugal. Then the long one again to Naples from Spain. And now we're back at it with a long one here from Corfu and all the way to Cyprus. I'm not sure if Nice, Lisbon will be the longest, or it will be in the top 2 or top 3, this flight leg here. So yeah. Yeah, so I don't need the route map, so let's do this nicely. And another look, no traffic or ATC going on now. Some of the Greek islands there. Zoom it in a bit. So unfortunately I cannot read Greek, and I cannot tell you the names of all of these islands here, which lays strewn all across here. So beautiful area and beautiful ocean and islands and culture and food, and not much negative to be said here. So let's do some learning about Cyprus, where we're going. I actually do not know too much about Cyprus, so I'm quite excited to learn something. So the flag here basically is colored version of the island. Cyprus, officially the Republic of Cyprus, is an island country in the eastern Mediterranean and the third largest and third most populous island in the Mediterranean, located south of Turkey, west of Syria and Lebanon, northwest of Israel and Palestine, north of Egypt and southeast of Greece. Yeah, makes sense. Capital is Nicosia. Wasn't it Athens? Ah, sorry guys, I'm all in a Greek mindset. Of course it's not Greek, so Nicosia makes sense. Sorry guys. Driving side is left side. Huh. And minority languages are Armenian and Cypriotic Arabic. Okay, so let's get some facts going. That's the flag again. Rich and turbulent history. Back to antiquity. Cyprus' official name is Republic of Cyprus. Just show it. Yeah, we are on track here. The island is divided into 2. Got a little bit of turbulence going on here, I think. Yeah, got some wind in from the side. Swaying a little bit, but the island is divided into 2. The Cypriotic Turks live to the north and the Greek Cypriots to the south. As of January 1st of January 2016, the population of Cyprus was estimated to be just around 1.1 million, 1.2 million people actually. Cyprus is 2.4 kilometers long, from end to end and 100 kilometers wide. At its widest point must be somewhere around here, right? Nicosia, also known as Lefkosia, is the capital city of the island country of Cyprus. It is also the largest city in that country. So let's just see if we can scroll down here, get some more info. We have the time. So that's a picture. That must be Nicosia. Typical Mediterranean look. Nicosia is the only divided capital city in the world. It has a northern Turkish section and a southern Greek section. Yeah, Turkey and Greece hasn't always been that good friends, right? Fortunately, hopefully they are all at peace and happy. Paphos has been inhabited since the Neolithic period. It was a center of the cult of Aphrodite and of pre-Hellenic fertility deities. Aphrodite's legendary birthplace was on this island, where her temple was erected by Mysians in the 12th century BC. The remains of villas, palaces, theaters, and fortresses and tombs mean that the site is an exceptional architectural and is of exceptional architectural and historic value. Yeah, so lots of history going on. Look at that. Oh, look at that painting, right? One of the wealthiest and best known monasteries in Cyprus. It was founded around the end of the 11th century by Byzantine Emperor Alexios Komnenos. Beautiful drawings. So I bet you they even have a national hymn, which we could now listen to. Yep, it's called Hymn to Liberty. Wasn't that the same as the Greek one we heard last night? Let's just listen. It sounds very, very familiar. Was it the same as the Greek one? Or not, maybe? Oh, so we actually heard that was not that. I think it was the shortest one we have ever heard. Yeah, so a lot of history here. You can look it up yourself if you're interested. I think we'll leave it at that. And just get a weather update from here. Yeah, so looking good. Not much going on for the rest of the flight. We see the clouds clearing as well as we're leaving the mainland behind. There's possible airports around us, just keep that out there in case we'll need it. And here we are, smack in the middle of the Aegean Sea. I think this is the Aegean Sea. So smack in the middle of that. Can't really see any traffic whatsoever. Maybe we have that Norwegian flight here. It's a long way from home. So he's heading all the way to Gardermoen from Israel. That's a long flight. Yeah, 4 hours remaining. Hope he has something fun to do in cruise, maybe watching Netflix, but that's the thing, guys. We all have our way of doing things and how to enjoy flying. And we have guys who are in virtual airlines and stuff like that, doing probably flights like this one. So for me, I'm not. I have. I guess it's different in VR. When I'm flying. So I'm not one to. I would never start the sim and start a flight to say New York and then leave the sim running and doing its flying while I go to work or go do other stuff, and then have it pause at top of the descent and come back. When you're flying, you're sitting there and you're monitoring the aircraft as best as you can, but you're in the cockpit and you're aware and you're looking around and enjoying the flight. And of course, sitting in cruise for many hours would be an intolerable bore. With nobody to talk to, you don't have a first officer there. You could do a shared cockpit, but still. So I understand people do it, but then also I don't understand it. It's like, then do a short hop instead and fly for 30 minutes. You don't need to go to New York, you know. Or do the sectors as short as you can. Do a project just like this, if you really can't stand sitting there for hours. I do know some guys do watch Netflix and series, and I could do that as well. I could have Netflix running here and just putting my feet up. I do actually have, so just put my feet up and sit there and I do actually do it when I'm not flying, when I'm not making videos for you guys and flying, not necessarily offline, but doing long sectors. The longest I've usually done in the sim is around 3 hours. Then I usually pop open YouTube, look at some videos, listen to some music, just relax and enjoy myself. And find the time passes by quite quickly. Then you always have something to do, and you're monitoring the area, trying to like look at the airports, and always like preparing for the worst. In case we have an issue, we could go here, and then we could go there, and always keeping up to date with what's going on around you. So that's just me. I'm not the pause top of the descent kind of guy. Don't really see the point. Sounds silly to me, but I kind of understand the guys that does it. So we all have our quirks and things we enjoy. So we are skewed a little bit here by the wind. Expected to arrive with 8.4. So 63. So yeah, so if we arrive with the 8.4, and that's 1.3, that's 64.3, right? .9, 64.3. That's correct. We will revisit this later on. So What we of course could do is just shut this down and reopen it so we can oops. Could of course put in the weather forecast. So let's do 31, 20, 10. Uh, 10. 25359. Two four four three seven. And 2266. We do have a good speed here. Look at our ground speed. And let's execute this. Top of the scent. Looks good. Yeah, so annoyingly there's very little to do here on this flight. Over here you can just see it there, that's the island of Kos, famous holiday destination. I did even consider going here instead of Corfu, but we decided for Corfu. Was a hard pick though. They both are great places to go. So about an hour into the flight now. Not much going on. Let's look at the VATSIM activity in Europe in general this Tuesday afternoon. Northern Europe is nicely covered. You could fly all the way to Geneva from Aalborg in Denmark, or even from Sweden actually. But from Denmark all the way down to Geneva you would have full coverage. So VATSIM is awesome, especially for the European airspace. There we go. Grabbing myself a drink. Let's see if we can see the airport. It's not this island, it's over there. Yeah, so sorry for the quiet time. This is what happens in cruise basically. You kick back and can relax your head a bit. Everything is set up. Not too much going on until we get closer. When we get closer, we'll just reconfirm our frequencies and stuff like that, and just review all we have done and make sure everything is as we want it. But it is, quite sure of that, so. So it looks quite small, quite dry, quite barren, but just keep in mind that we are cruising along, we are quite high. We're at 11.2 kilometers in the air, so things tend to blend in, especially in these Mediterranean countries where you don't have there's not too much color variety going on. When you look at it from above, you have so there's an airport down there, I think, yeah. Cars just about make out the runway. So basically when you approach Kos, you fly out over this island here, do a turn and then go into land, normally facing north. That's the most common approach. We can see the airport actually just down there. Yeah, but the houses and everything basically all have the same color as the terrain, so it's quite camouflaged. So So on long treks like this, it would be really nice to have ATC just to have something going on and somebody controlling you remotely. So let's see, that's the airport more clearly now. A bit raised on the terrain. The island of Kos. We are heading towards Turkey. Let's just have a look at the engines, should be fine. Yeah, looking real good. One engine on the Seaboard is burning a bit hotter, so it's actually nicely simulated that you have one engine just a bit older, burning a bit warmer than the other one. That's all normal and fine. Shout out. Here, next up, you should see it out there, the island of Rhodes, also a very famous destination. Not much else going on weather-wise. Let's get the clouds up just to have a look. Visible clouds, yeah. So we might get some just around here, but clear skies all the way mostly. Yes. Last year of the runway on Kos. Which we are moving on. So 1 hour and 5 minutes since we left Corfu. Here we're basically halfway more or less now. Oops. Yeah, and 200 nautical miles to the top of the sand, around 25 minutes from now, so do begin to see an end to the static time. So these for these videos I do try to keep the legs at around now. That's about as long as somebody can bear to sit and watch, right? Because not much is going on in cruise. Nice speed, and we really actually think we'll get there a bit ahead of schedule. There's roads. One of the airports. Just make it out down there. So now we are almost leaving Greece behind, heading on into Turkish area. We can see Turkey in there. And of course down there there's Turkey as well. So I don't know if you guys, if you look around on the channel, you will see if you do try to make some videos about the updates from the developers at the Microsoft Flight Simulator that's due to launch in 2020. And trying to keep up to date on that, but of course I'm trying to keep a virtual reality simming perspective on it, and not much has been said. They have said that it will be compatible for virtual reality flying, but thus far there's been no real news other than that. With regards to VR flying in the new sim, but no, it's quite a hot potato. Some people don't really believe in it. Think it will flop as always, and others are more optimistic. And I would like to say that everyone who basically tries to do something, making a new sim or improving an existing sim, you just have to support it, because if they didn't do it, nothing would really happen, right? So it can't really be that bad. So I'm hopeful. It is looking very good, and it's, for now at least, seems like that they are taking the community serious and taking a more humble approach to the development, and things you must keep in our mind is a corporation like Microsoft, if they do something, they really want to do it, they have insane resources, both regards to developing team and capital behind it, and of course the skilled programmers, and they do also have some tools that other developers doesn't have, like they have access to the Google data and can make some insane scenery if they wanted to implement Google Map or Google Earth data. It would blow any other sim out of the water, at least in terms of eye candy. So I hope that they put this in there, because that basically means the end of downloading and creating author tiles. You would have photoreal scenery for basically the entire globe, with 3D animated actual buildings. Everything just set to go. So I have really got my fingers crossed, and they are also making it, from what I read, come standard with volumetric clouds and stuff like that. So hopefully they will make a masterpiece of a sim and blow all of the skepticism away, and really shake up the flight simming world. I really hope that. So I will keep making my update videos on it. So you can stay tuned and just follow the development, and also check out the website. I think it's called flightsimulation.com. Should take you to the website. So yeah, there we are. 150 to go. About 15 minutes, give or take. I have it basically just straight ahead from now on. Straight in over there, just north of the mountains here, and then we'll make our turn into Larnaca. There's Turkey in there. And I have a mixture. I think this is standard zoom level 16 from the zonephoto.fr site. So it is a work in progress of mine to make zoom level 17 custom styles for entire Europe. For now I'm focusing on, of course, filling in the blanks of some parts of the Eastern Europe regions that we are going to go through on this journey, so I would like to have good ortho for that. So that's my area of focus right now, and some areas I don't even have any ortho for, so that's main priority, not to run into any generic X-plane scenery, because that's just awful looking. So if we do, I'll try to plan a night flight over generic X-plane scenery. So 1.3 tons center tank, so we will empty that. I think maybe just about. I'll have a review before we start our approach, just to make sure we don't get a center tank running dry on the approach, just to make people panic when you see that master caution come on when you're busy with so many other things. So what I think I'll do is go direct to Dasni. Just to avoid those 1 degree jittery motions. There's no need for that. Most likely any controller would also just give us a longer shortcut like that. So Dasni is the last waypoint before Vaduz, where we will have initiated our descent. So while Turkey is passing by, you can see just about make out the bend over there, this bay, and then there is Antalya, where our alternate is at. So if you see these, I haven't really investigated too much, but they are unfortunately quite common. These lines almost looks like somebody has etched something out of the terrain, and it is a seam in ortho files, but also in general just in tiles, that are quite common, and there are no real fix for it from what I can understand. Not much you can do, so something you just have to look away when they occur, and they often occur especially if you have terrain. Don't know quite what it is, what's causing it, but from what I heard, there's no real fix for it. So Turkish landscape down there, coastline, and fields. Let's have a look here. Guys leaving Antalya. So basically when we leave this point here, we will eventually lose sight of Turkey, and next land reckoning will be Cyprus. And then what we'll do is we will go into Larnaca, and once we intercept Larnaca, which is the flyover of the airport, we will go heading select and go heading select 062 degrees out to a distance of 8 miles from Larnaca, where we'll turn onto runway heading on 221. So we will update the FMC basically in this turn, and update the FMC and then re-engage LNAV to take us in for stabilizers on the approach. That's basically it, so not much hocus pocus abracadabra going on there. Speeds are set nicely as well, so yeah, might even do a speed intervent there as well. 11030 is set. 62 and Larnaca 112.8 already tuned. Do this. And 1 hour and 20 minutes have passed since our departure. Review this point. So we have a Boeing at 11 above, Daros 9 above, Atlas 6 above, Tesa at 5 above, correct, and that brings us to Larnaca at 4,000. So everything is just looking really good. So there's the turning point of the landscape here. What's this point here? Probably has some fabulous name. Probably a good looking photo point of here. But this point basically is entry into the large bay where you have Antalya. In the bottom, Antalya, also a famed tourist area for cold Scandinavians and Brits looking to get some time in the sun. $80 miles to go in 10 minutes, and expect this to be half an hour, just over half an hour, then we'll be on the ground. Already traversed all of Greece, from Corfu down here, across the cars, over roads. We're now heading straight for Cyprus. And I don't expect us to get any ATC here. Unfortunately, we rarely see it outside of the weekends. You don't have much activity going on down here. Quite a bit of traffic in here actually right now. Things are also taking a look at Corfu now. Just busy as Heathrow. Very popular airport to fly to. We got a Norwegian here from Munich. Let's have a look at the areas we're going to. Yeah, quite barren as well. And actually Croatia is usually quite active with the ATC. So here's Split. And Eastern Europe in general is quite active on VATSIM. So you can see the guys here online. Riga's online, I think. Stockholm online. Denmark is online. Hamburg are also very busy. Luxembourg is online actually. So if you're wondering where to get this map for VATSIM, probably don't, but just in case, here's the regular VATtastic map. So all you do is go down here, click on the VATtastic version 2, and this map here will pop up for you. Which is a version 2 test map, so it's not complete yet. It's quite good. So let's just get the latest weather, just make sure nothing has changed. Larnaca. Nope, still the same. There we go. Over the sea now. Still have a good view of Turkey in there in the bay, where Antalya is at the bottom. And not too long from now we should be starting to make out things that could be Cyprus, some terrain maybe. There's the airports of Cyprus coming in. Larnaca is tuned, 162. We have a 176 track miles to go. Estimates 8.2. So that's 63, 64.1. See if that changes anything. Nope. Touching down quite heavily, or quite heavy in Larnaca, and fast, but we have a long runway. We'll do a nice stable approach, maybe even float a little bit if we can. It's nice and dry, no need to smash it down. What we can do is set the auto brake now. Landing altitude was set, and we have 147, and we had the minima set to 209 for Cat C. And of course the latest QNH is also set. They have that, it's annoying that 1 degree, 103, 102, 103, 104, 104, so just this 1 degree wobbliness. And correcting a bit. Bosnia. So next up is Vaduz. And 28, so we can start preparing. So we'll set 20, flight at 200, sorry, initially. Finally something is coming up and going to happen. That's the best part of a long flight, right? This isn't really a long flight, but for simming it is. So it's basically a short hop, but still something is happening other than staring at the window. And you can just about make out Turkey out there still. And I do reckon that we do see some terrain popping up, which is Cyprus. There's a bit of cloud. Do have one aircraft in Larnaca currently sitting on the ground. He is going to Italy. Alternative is Naples. He's currently sitting on the ground. I'm not sure if he will be out of our way once we arrive. But other than that, there shouldn't be much else traffic-wise. So this here is still a work in progress. Sometimes it loads, sometimes it doesn't, but it should give you a nice overview of the airport frequencies in use and aircrafts and what have you not. A bit cloudy down there, but it's clearing, so it looks clear over Cyprus. You can see Cyprus nicely now coming into view over there from the haze. 10 miles to the top of the descent. Let's shut this down. You just keep an eye on this guy here. Don't know how far along he is in setting up and get going. Basically we'll just go all the way to the end here. Take the Echo exit, preferably. Then on Whiskey and then Apron 1. All we really have to look out for is this terrain here. That will be on our right. But it's clear weather and daytime, so it should be very easy to see. So there's Cyprus. Coming into you. And 1.5 hours spent in the air. And here's our top of descent. And we'll just start our glide down. Bit of a feel the negative G-force as we soar downwards. Asking for drag, we'll just monitor for now. Quite a steep descent to open up with. Still have a bit of wind from the side here. A little bit of lag as Cyprus is loading in. And here we go. Next country on our list. And we won't be doing any more flight legs of this length, I think, on our journey. So that's nice to know that the worst is over. We have done the large countries, large legs, or water legs. Now we are mostly short hops. On profile, speed is good. $31. A little bit on the profile, but VNav is correcting now. That's the coast of Cyprus. Yeah, so he looks like he's airborne. Yeah, he's at 4,000, so he'll be out of our way. At least for now. Don't think we'll be interfering too much with each other. We'll be going south of the mountain there. We'll be going this way. Or maybe not, we'll see. Still on speed, on profile, looking good. So we can fishing vessel. You see it, I see the arms from the vessel sticking out. I think it's a fishing vessel. Not a platform, drilling platform as such. Looking nice on profile, so quite uneventful actually. Its head is rising again, -7, but no clouds, so .3 now. We have 700 kilos left in the center tank. Just would like to empty it as much as possible, but shouldn't really be using that much more fuel. We're using a bit flying last part of the approach, but other than that we'll keep it on, and then should it run dry, it will run dry. We're aware of it, so all good. So here we are coming over Cyprus. Let's put you here. Let's get first officer's view. And let's get seated. That should do us nicely. So lucky we have no clouds, really get to see all of Cyprus here.
Thousand to go.
There we are. Yeah, we can set you down to 10. Flight level 100 is set. And once we are basically over Larnaca, we'll just grab the latest unit. So this guy is actually outbound, and he is he should pass over us, right? Actually, this could become a situation. He's exactly in our route, and with this he's 15 miles out more or less now at 1000. He'll pass over us. We'll clear each other nicely, so now we are on level at 10 miles just about. So now he's above us. We go 1000 feet above us. Clear. $2,000 at 10 miles. There he is. $3,000 above. Going to Italy. Coming up on Boeing, and we're still on profile. That's a little PA.
On behalf of the flight crew, we appreciate you being with us today. Wish you a very safe and pleasant journey. Hope to see you back here with us. Thank you.
Nice idle descent. VNav is really doing a great job here. And we have made landfall on Cyprus, ladies and gentlemen. Also a popular holiday destination. A little bit of turbulence here over the mountains. We're going to get a good push there, actually. LNAV is trying to correct. 16 knots straight in from the side, pushing us. So in here we have the terrain and Larnaca straight ahead over here. Coming up on 10. Yeah, so keep the ref for now. So there's a decel point. Let's see if VNav can handle it, or if we are a bit low actually on the profile. So that's corresponds great with the decel. We'll let VNav handle it for now. houses down there. So we are over the center of the island now. And set 209 147, that's 152. Call checked. Auto brake 2. Pressurization set, recall checked, auto brake set, landing data rebrief and minimums are set, approach briefing completed, and we'll get wait a little bit before we get the QNH. We need to get a bit closer. And still no ATC and no traffic to be seen. So just bring him out and then we can shut it down once I am pleased that there will be no further traffic issues. We can ask the flight crew to prepare. 10 minutes to landing. So here we have the bay and the airport. Let's zoom in a bit. Over there. Still a little bit fast, so we can just stowed. And there we go. Little bit over speed, but nothing serious, so we can get away with it. Terrain wise is looking good. We can pop you in a bit now. Should be visual with the airport.
Thousand to go.
Popping down there for now, and our minimum was it 2000? Yeah, 2000 left turn. Just cleared the last real terrain. So yeah, there's the airport. You can see the tower and just barely make out the runway. Well camouflaged in there within those sand dunes. And we can set the standout now. Just get the
Lima, Charlie, Lima, Kilo, airport information, Oscar 1413, Zulu, weather, wind,
watching the
144, at 10, visibility 10,000, sky clear, temperature 34, dew point 16, QNH 1007, advise on initial contact, you have...
So we'll keep, go to heading select, keep the current heading. Basically we'll go to Larnaca now. There's the airport below us. And get ready to go to 062. go 062 now. There we go. Perfect. And we'll go this heading a little bit off, but you have the wind to account for, so we'll just correct that just a little bit. Just update this so we get the magenta line following us. 210, so speed is good. Get the cabin seated and tucked in. Don't have any traffic for now, just leave it open for now. So we are at 5. We'll just leave it tuned until we go to the turn, then we'll tune the ILS. So 6. And there's 7. Little more. Bang on. And we initiate now. Right turn. Go, and soon enough we can engage. So don't need you anymore. Engage LNAV and on the approach. Flaps 1. Slow it down now. Quite low here actually.
2500.
Flaps 2. And imagine that we are clear to land. And we can go
1,000 to go.
flaps 5 now. We're very low now, so we really need to keeping this here altitude for a little while. Look at the profile as well. All reds as expected, so we'll just monitor this altitude. It's a bit low, but it should be flattening out at 1500, so that's doing it correctly. So gear down, flaps 15. And we'll shut you down. And just going for now 5 to go. Start seeing whites, so it's all good. 11 knots straight, and as expected, so arm the speed brake. So flaps 30. do have above 10 knots, so we'll do something like this. I'm happy with that.
1,000.
1,000 feet, stabilized, Mr. Birch, altitude set.
Set. Runway heading set. 2 reds, 2 whites. Oh, that looks a bit offsetting to me. Look, it looks like the pappies are actually placed in the middle of the runway. Looks a bit wrong to me, but it is freeway scenery, so what we'll do now is disconnect and we'll just ignore that the pappies are sitting in the middle of the runway and pretend that they are not. That's what you get with freeway scenery sometimes, so just trying to...
400.
Even the runway is actually sitting a little bit into the
300.
To the water here, so
approaching minimums.
The scenery is a bit sick.
200. Minimums. 100.
Flight slow. Flight
50.
slow.
40. 30. 20. 10.
To this apron over here, so we'll just take the next exit, which should be Echo.
Feet remaining.
Yeah, that's Echo. Manual braking. Basically straight ahead. Kill the radars as well. Trying to do as much cleanup as we can to look nice and tidy. So we do have, looks like we have some gates actually, so it ain't too bad. This the scenery actually have something going on here. So let's see if we can find a gate that's available to us and make that perfect parking. Doesn't look like it's any actually. Let's go to the other side just to see what's there. We'll come all this long way, why not? It's a bit shame with the runway though. The scenery was really nice. The lights hadn't really loaded in, just flicked on at the very end. And then we have this, looks like a corner of the runway sitting in the sea. It is correct, but it could have been just brushed off just a little bit. And then of course the pappies in the middle of the runway. But other than that, it's okay. It's what happens. It's freeway. Didn't pay anything for it, so just have to be thankful for the people who actually go through all the hard work of making these sceneries. There's a KLM. So I wonder if we have any available spots on this side here. Should have. Just need a taxi line. Yeah, plenty of available spots to us, so let's just jump on the taxi line here. Kill number 2. And let's take this stand over here. Doesn't look like we have any gate guidance though. Nope. So don't really know what is difference with what the sure maybe the tower, I don't know, or maybe it just did some correcting of placements of buildings. Doesn't look that much different from default X-plane. Not even gate guidance. So I do think actually it's quite old freeway scenery, so that's what you get sometimes. But I won't complain. We got the plane down, and now we're hopefully going to park it perfectly without guidance. Let's get it bang on. A little bit more. Yeah, that will do us nicely. So kill the engine. The APU. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Corfu in... Sorry, let's do a redo. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to wonderful Cyprus at Larnaca Airport. After a 2-hour flight, had a beautiful flight, no issues at all. Beautiful takeoff and flight over Greece. On the way here, we had some good views of Turkey. And yeah, so welcome to Cyprus, sunny island in the eastern Mediterranean. And let's get fixed and steady, off. So yeah. Cabin crew, please disarm doors and slides, and you're off, and that's all set. Yeah, so pretty much all I need to set here. Up, down, yeah. Turn this off, and I think we'll leave the aircraft there for now. I'm not quite sure if I'll do a turnaround and fly to Sofia tonight. I might do, might not, but I think I'll leave the aircraft sitting here nonetheless. So yeah, let's get some stuff going here, so we can get this. Obviously, we don't have the bridge working, so we'll do this here. No need to fuel for now. And we will open after entry service cargo. There we go. And terminate the flight leg. And we'll jump outside and have a look. Let's start with the parking today. Ain't half bad, ain't half bad. Looking good. Oh, I know what I forgot. And ground power. Kill the APU. Get this on. So yeah. No need to spend any unnecessary fuel here. So the parking is actually not that bad for a non-guided parking. Let's get away from the noise here. So here we are in wonderful Corfu. That ASU unit is really insanely noisy. Go all the way over here, hide behind this Malta. So yeah, welcome to Corfu. What a wonderful flight, and really enjoyed this flight, even though it's just a bit long, but that's just how it is with these things. So let's have a look at the all-important landing rate. Do it here from afar where we don't have all that noise going on. There we are, parked in Corfu. Arrived at stand, and boom. Actually, that's too soft, but we'll take it. That will definitely improve our average. Now this average here, don't disregard that. That's from all the flights I've done with other flights as well, so, and experimented. So we can't get an average for this project, and we will have a look at the average at some point. But 105, maybe we actually, I don't know how good the controls are in. So I need to complete the flight, right? Complete. There we go. And I don't know if we can do. So there's our profile, all that juicy stuff. You can even get an overlay on Google, I think. Okay, so I can't click that, but maybe if I do this, I can choose this aircraft, and we will get average landing rate at 264. For now, that's our average landing rate for this entire project. All our flights, and here we have missed one flight. I think maybe it was from Edinburgh to, I don't know, we did miss one flight here from Edinburgh to London, I think. I'm not sure. No, we have Edinburgh. From London to Edinburgh, maybe. One flight we missed. I need to delete this one. This was a test flight to Bergen, to and from Bergen, so we need to delete that. But other than that, all of this here is the flights we have done thus far in this project. So it's quite nice to have all of this info. So here we are parked the most easterly border of the European Union for, yeah, I think actually even with Finland it's mostly there. So most southerly and most easterly part of the European Union. We can't go any further out, then we'll reach Syria and Iraq. I do not want to go there. Next flight will be back to mainland Europe, to Bulgaria, where we'll touch down in Sofia, the capital of Bulgaria. A flight that is also, isn't a 1 hour flight, it's 1.5 hours maybe. It's not quite as long as the one we just did, but it is a good flight over Turkey, so we'll probably go around Turkey even. So yeah, let's just close this down. So hope you enjoyed this long flight, and hope to see you in the next flight to Sofia. Do like and subscribe as always, and also share the video if you have the opportunity to do so. So I will see you in the next video. Bye bye.